Hello, this is Mrs. Ridgway. I am going to be covering Excel Chapter 4, Session 2 of Analyzing and Charting Financial Data. Turn with me to page 32. Look at page 32 and 33. We're going to be looking at creating scatter charts and using data bars and spark lines. On page 32, there are pictures of icons from the icon gallery that are inserted into these cells. This is new for Microsoft Office 2019. Below that, you will see data callouts, which are data labels that appear as callout bubbles pointing to data markers. These markers are located in a scattered chart that plots two data series of numeric values against each other. As you can see, the blue against the green. On page 33, the Sparkline Tools Design Contextual tab provides commands to format sparklines. At the bottom of page 33, you'll see sparklines and data bars. A sparkline is a graph that is displayed within a cell. You can create line, column, and win-loss sparklines. Data markers can be added to sparklines, indicating the low and the high points in the chart. And then lastly, a data bar is like a conditional format that adds a horizontal bar to the background of a cell proportional in length to the cell's value. You would click on conditional formatting, and then in that list you'll go down to data bars. All right, on page 34, we're going to be creating a scatter chart. Another important type of chart is the scatter chart, which plots two data series of numeric values against each other. Scatter charts are widely used in science and engineering applications when investigators want to discover how two numeric variables are related. For example, an economist might want to investigate the effect of high tax rates on tax revenue, or the effect of increasing the minimum wage on the unemployment rate. There's a picture on page 34 that shows you a scatter chart of return rate versus volatility. I always have a hard time with that word. I don't know why. All right, now we're going to create our own scatter chart. So look at number 2 at the bottom of page 34. We're going to go down and we're going to click the volatility and returns. All right, there it is. Worksheet to bring it up. And then we're going to select the range B5 through C7. Click it again. Okay, B5 through C7. Okay. And then on the ribbon, we're going to click the Insert tab. Insert tab. And then in the Charts group, we're going to click Recommended Charts. The dialog box opens to the Recommended Charts tab. And then on page 35, we are to look at the gallery of recommended chart types and select Scatter. Let's see if it's this one. Yes, it's this one, Scatter. Click OK. And then we're going to click the Move Chart button. Select Summary. We're moving it to the Summary. Oh, I'm going to have to scroll up or down. Let's see here. Here it is, Summary Sheet. And then click OK. Move and resize the scatter chart to cover range G17. Let me go find it. There it is. G17 through H28. All right, so we've got G17 through H28. Now we're going to format the horizontal and vertical axis. Double-click the vertical axis in the scatter chart, and that's these numbers right here. This is going to bring up a pane. The Format Axis pane opens to the Axis Options formatting choices. Set the value of the minimum box to 0. And then set the maximum box to 0.06. So the access will range from 0 to 6%. All right, so notice that it changes. I pressed enter and it changed within the chart itself. In the horizontal axis crosses section, click the Access Value option button. Right here. And then enter 0.31. And before you press enter, I want you to watch what happens in your chart. Okay, now double click the horizontal axis in the scatter chart to open the Format Axis pane to the formatting option for the axis. Okay, this is our horizontal. In the minimum box, change the value to 4. And then click the maximum box. Okay, maximum box. The value of the maximum box changes to 20. Oh, okay, yeah, it is. It's 24. In the vertical axis crosses section, click the Axis Value Options button. And then enter 14.71. To remove elements from the scatter chart, scroll down the Format Axis pane for the horizontal axis and click Labels section head. Okay, here's Labels. And then in the label position box, select None. Double-click the labels for the vertical axis to display. Okay. Scroll down to the Labels section for that axis and then select None. On the Chart Tools Design tab, in the Chart Layouts group, click the Add Chart Elements button. Okay, I need to read that. On the Chart Tools Design tab, okay, up here, in the Chart Layouts group, okay, over to the far left, click the Add Chart Elements button, point to the chart title, and then click None. So we're not going to have a title. Click the Add Chart Elements button, and then point to Grid Lines, and click Primary Major Horizontal. All right, click this to take that away, and Primary. All right, so let's go back. Go to Grid Lines and choose Primary Major Vertical. To deselect those two options, removing them from the scatter chart, and then close the Format pane. The scatter chart now contains only the two data points and the two axis lines. Now we're going to edit the chart data source. Turn to page 38 to edit the chart's data source. With the scatter chart still selected, on the Chart Tools Design tab in the Data group, click the Select Data button. All right, so that's to the right. Select Data button. The Select Data Source dialog box will open up, and then we're going to click Add. Add to open the Edit Series dialog box. All right, Add. You can add another data series to the chart from here. With the insertion point in the series name box, click the Volatility and Return Sheet tab. Okay. And then click cell G5. In that worksheet. The expression, all right, so look at the expression of what it should be. Equal, looks like apostrophe, volatility, and return exclamation mark, apostrophe, $G, $5, okay. That's entered into the series name box. Click the series X values box. Click the, okay, I'm on it, so we're supposed to click right here, Sheet tab if necessary, so I'm on it already, and then select the range F6 through F14. Went too far over. F6 through F14 to enter the expression that you see here in the book. Click the series Y values. Delete any expression in that box. All right. And then select the range G6 through G14. Click OK. All right, so look, wait a minute, let's look at this. Series name, that's the name of the data series, which is G5, other investment fund returns. And then the second one, X values for the data series. Okay, so those are those numbers. And then the Y values for the data series. All right, and then click OK to return to the Select Data Source dialog box and note that the data series, Other Investment Fund Returns, has been added to the list of data series. Yes, it has. Then click OK. This returns to the summary worksheet. Data markers for the second data series are added to the scatter chart. So now we have our blue and our green comparison. All right, so on the bottom of page 39, we're going to be adding graphic objects to a workbook. Another way of enhancing your workbooks is with graphic art. In the previous session, you used a data label to display percentage values in a pie chart. Another type of data label is a data callout, which is a label that appears as a text bubble attached to a data marker. We're going to add a data callout to the scatter chart's data markers. So with the scatter chart still selected, on the ribbon, click the Chart Tools Format tab. All right, so we're up here, Format. In the current selection group, okay, that's to the far left, click the Chart Elements arrow. All right, that's at top. Okay. And then click Series, 10-year annualized return. 10-year annualized return. To select the two data markers, or makers, two data makers for the data series. Okay. Number 2 on page 40, click the Chart Tools Design tab. In the Chart Layouts group, click the Add a Chart Element. Point to Data Labels, okay, and then click Data Callout down at the bottom to add callouts to the two data markers in the series. Excel inserts the volatility and return values into the two data callouts. You will change those values so they reference the abbreviated names of the two investments. So now we need to right-click either of the two data labels. Okay, so right-click. There we go. And then we're going to click Format Data Labels. Format Data Labels. That says Series. Oh, down at the bottom, okay, on the shortcut menu. The Format Data Labels pane will open up, and then we're going to click the Value from Sales. Okay, that's in the Label Options, Value from Sales. The Data Label Range dialog box opens. We're going to click the Volatility and Return Sheet tab at the bottom, and then we're going to select the range A6 through A7. Okay. And it enters its own expression into the Select Data Label range box, and then we're going to click OK. Click the X value and the Y value check boxes to deselect them. All right, so we've got to come over here to the pane and deselect before you, as you're clicking the X value, look what happens in your chart. And then we're going to deselect the Y value. So we're only wanting to label them with the, well, these are the names. All right, close the Format Data Labels pane. Microsoft Office supports a gallery of over 160 shapes that can be added to any workbook or other Office document. The shape gallery includes rectangles, circles, arrows, stars, flowchart symbols, and text boxes. Each shape can be resized and formatted with a wide selection of colors, line styles, and special effects such as drop shadows and glowing borders. We've worked with this when we worked with Word, and we've worked with this in Excel. I believe it was chapter 2. You can insert text strings, including numbered and bulleted lists, to any graphic shape. We're going to insert a text box. So with the scatter chart still selected, click the Insert tab. In the Illustrations group on the ribbon, we're going to click the Illustrations button. Click the Illustrations button and then click Shapes. Oh, well, we don't really click the button, we just choose Shapes. The Shapes gallery opens, organized into categories. The most recent used shapes, the line group, the rectangular, and so forth. In the basic shapes group, we're going to choose the text box, which has a little A on it. Click near the upper left corner of the scatter chart. A box opens in which the text box will be entered. Click near the upper left corner. Okay. Type "Hi Return" as the first line of text in the text box, and then press Enter, and then type "Low Volatility" as the second line of the text in the text box. Click and drag the sizing handles around the selected text box as needed to reduce the text box to fit the text. Point to the text box border so the pointer changes to the move. Okay, the move. And then we're going to drag the move pointer and drag the text box so that it aligns with the upper left corner of the scatter chart. Okay. Okay, point to the text box. Okay, we did that and we moved it. Now repeat steps 2 through 7 to insert a text box containing high return and high volatility. Okay. Placing the return and that, okay, in different lines in the upper right corner. Okay, so we're creating another. So we're going to insert a shape, the text box, click to insert it, type high return, press enter, high volatility. Okay, and then we're going to move the box. Well, first of all, size it. And move it up to the upper right corner. Repeat steps 2 and 7 to insert a text box containing low and low in the lower left corner. All right. Make sure you got to click. Okay. Now we're going to insert shape, text box, click, low return, low volatility. Shape it. And then drag it. I guess that's where it's going to stay right there. Number 10, repeat step 2 through 7 to insert another text box containing low and okay. So we're going to create another one. Insert, shape, basic shape, click, and we're going to type low return, press enter, type high volatility. I'm going to move it up and then try to shape it to the text. Go down some, up a little. And then move this to the lower right-hand corner and drop. Now we're going to be inserting graphic icons. Graphic icons, another type of graphic object supported by Microsoft Office, are common symbols often found in signs and posters. Like shapes, icons can be resized and reformatted to meet a variety of design needs. We're going to be inserting the star icons from the icon gallery. In the summary worksheet, select B9. All right, B9. And then press delete to delete the contents of that cell. On the Insert tab in the Illustrations group, insert the Illustrations group, click the Illustrations button, and then click Icons. The Insert Icons dialog box opens. Click Celebration from the list of icon categories, and then click Star. And then click the, let's see, icons, got it, and then click the star icon to select it. Got to find it first. Oh, there it is. Okay. Then click Insert. To insert the icon into cell B9. Because the icon is selected, the Graphic Tools Format tab appears on the ribbon. On the Graphic Tools Format tab, we need to go to the Size group, which I see up above on the ribbon. We need to click the height box and type in 0.25 and click in the width box, height box to 0.25, and then press enter. Oh, okay, so it's already, all right, so both the height and the width changed to 0.25. Well, mine did not, so I'm going to change it. With the star icon still selected, press the Control plus C to copy the icon. All right, Control C. And then press Control V 3 times. Drag each of the 4 icons up so they align in cell B9. Don't worry if they're not exact. Okay, so let me move this up just a tad. This one up. This one up. Whoop. Four stars. You can use the drag and drop technique to place your graphic objects, but it can be hard to get objects exactly where you want them. For more precise placement of objects, Excel provides commands to align graphics within a row or column. Distribute them evenly across a horizontal or a vertical space, or even stack graphics on top of each other. You can also group images together. We're going to select and place icons within the worksheet. On the Graphic Tools Format tab, in the Arrange group. Okay, so let's go Graphic Tools Format. We need to click on it at the top. In the Arrange group, click the Selection pane. Here, let me deselect this down here. Okay. Click on it. All right. Click the Selection pane button right here. A list of graphics and charts in the current worksheet appears in the Selection pane to the right. Hold down Control and click the names of the 4 graphics listed in the Selection pane so that all 4 are selected in both the pane and the worksheet. Hold down the Control and click the names of the 4 graphics listed in, okay, so I'm looking at it. So they want 10 and 9 and 8, 9, 8, and 7, according to the picture. On the Graphic Tools Format tab, in the Arrange group, click the Align button. See, as you can see in your spreadsheet, all 4 stars have been selected. Now we're going to align. And then we're going to click to align to the middle so that the icons are aligned through their middles. Click the Align button again, and then click Distribute horizontally so that the icons are evenly distributed in the horizontal direction. Well, that is new. Icons are new for Microsoft Office 2019, and this is also new for placing these objects. All right, now we're going to close. So close the Selection pane. Excel has other chart types that are useful for financial and scientific research, which you can access from the Charts group on the Insert tab. If you want to change the chart type of an existing chart, you would simply look up at your ribbon and you would click the Change Chart Type. Let me click first of all on, let's say, this chart first. And then I believe it might be the design. Yes. You would choose the chart, change the chart type button in the Type group on the Chart Tools Design tab, and then you would select the new chart type from the dialog box. Again, this is if you already have a pre-existing chart on your worksheet. Hierarchy charts are like pie charts in that they show the relative contribution of groups to a whole. Unlike pie charts, a hierarchy chart also shows the organizational structure of the data with subcategories displayed within main categories. Excel supports 2 types of hierarchy charts: tree map charts and sunburst charts. In a tree map chart, each category is placed within a rectangle, and subcategories are nested as rectangles within those rectangles. There's a picture of it in figure 4-39. You can compare the tree map and the sunburst chart. The rectangles are sized to show the relative proportions of the 2 groups based on values from a data series. Now, next to the tree map chart is the sunburst chart. A sunburst chart organizes hierarchical data through a series of concentric rings, with the innermost rings showing the highest category levels and the outer rings showing categories from lower levels. The size of the rings indicate the relative proportions of the different groups and categories within groups. Sunburst charts are better than tree map charts at conveying information from multiple levels of nested groups. But tree maps are better at displaying the relative sizes of the categories within each group level. Pareto charts is a special kind of combination chart, which combines a column chart and a line chart to indicate which factors are the largest contributors to the whole. Pareto charts are often used in quality control studies to isolate the most significant factors in the failure of manufacturer process. They are also in market research to indicate which factor and combination of factors are the most crucial in consumer choices. A histogram is a column chart displaying the distribution of values from a single data series. For example, a professor might create a histogram to display the distribution of scores from a midterm exam. There is no category series for a histogram. On page 47, Figure 4-41 will show you an example of a histogram chart. The data values are organized into bins, if you look down below, and the height of each of these columns is based on the number of values within each bin. A waterfall chart tracks the addition and subtraction of values within a sum. If you look at figure 4-42, you'll see an example of a waterfall chart. The years in which the fund decreased in values. Notice how it's showing the increase in value, the decrease, and then it shows a total. Waterfall charts are often used with profit and loss statements to track the impact of revenue and expenses on a company's net profit. I'm going to stop right here, and then I have an event to get to, so I'm going to stop on page 48, and tomorrow I will pick back up here on 48, and we will create data bars. We'll learn how to modify the data bars using rules. We'll learn how to create spark lines and to modify and format the spark lines. And then that way we'll have 3 videos on this. All right, have a good evening, and we will see you next time I see you.